kiddies. It's your old pal, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to Video Store Clerks Podcast.
Welcome to the store.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. What's up, everybody? This is episode 97, and we're still trapped in the video store. So that means it's time once again for the Video Store Clerks Podcast. We are your clerks this evening. Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of me. Happy New Year.
Merry New Year!
Happy 2024. I'm so happy to put 2023 behind me. I can't even put it into words. But we are your clerks for the evening. I'm Dave.
Jamie. I'm Mike.
Chuck Nasty.
Oh, we're all here. We're all ready. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, since we wrapped up 2023, we will be discussing our top 3 favorites and our top 3 least favorites from the year. This was a tough one.
It was.
Yeah.
I feel like the worst was a lot longer.
Yeah, I don't miss doing the top 3s as much anymore. Like I thought I was getting used to like kind of missing them a little bit until we decided to do this fucking thing. Now I'm like, fuck my life.
Yeah, this one was going through this was kind of difficult to try to narrow them down of the ones that I liked the most, the ones I really were just disappointed with, because there wasn't a lot of. There wasn't a lot of movies that came out in the past year that I saw. I thought I saw a lot more, and I really apparently didn't. I saw enough to realize that it was still tricky enough for me to like make this list. But I feel like we had better movies, more movies I wanted to see the year before, But we got some good ones last year. We got some good ones in. They slipped into the cracks between all the bullshit, which we know was out there. A lot.
Well, hold that thought, Chuck, because it's a new year and it's time for some news.
Oh, of course. Let's start the program as we always do with that news.
New year, new me. News for your fucking face. Happy Hanukkah.
Our weather will get warmer over the next couple of days, but we have to go through a few snow showers first. Your complete forecast, all the day's news, straight ahead in the Fox Live and News. Fuck you, mother whore. Shit!
Hey.
Oh, that's great.
I hate
That never
never
gets
Fred's
old.
accent.
Yeah, you always gotta love the bloopers on the news. Being a kid that's dad, worked, fucking since before I was born at a TV station. I've seen a lot of those bloopers up close, and it's so funny watching those. Love it, especially when they slip a few f bombs in there. And I watched one guy one time go on a whole rant, kind of like a Christmas Vacation rant, but he said a whole lot of 4-letter words that ended him not having a job.
They all just eventually snap. So it's a never-ending supply of clips, ladies and gentlemen. We'll keep that going.
True.
We'll start with the weekend box office. Wonka bounced back up to number 1 this weekend. Brought in another $23 million, bringing its total domestic gross up to $140 million.
I really want to see that one.
Aquaman dropped to number 2. Migration, the animated feature from Illumination Studios, I believe. Number 3, The Color Purple opened at number 4. Anyone But You is still at number 5.
Wait, stop for a second. The Color Purple?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's a remake. I think this one's a musical too.
Oh God. Continue.
Was the original music? It wasn't, was it?
No, it was not.
Okay.
No. Jesus.
Rounding out the weekend box office, the George Clooney directed film The Boys in the Boat. I feel like the title might have. Well, it debuted at number 6.
The boys in
little
the
man on
boat.
The little man on the boat.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think
That's
they should have,
right.
Cabin boy.
Wording, folks. Wording.
Why don't you
It's
say
important.
why don't you just call it boat boys or something?
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
The Iron Claw dropped to number 7, but it still brought another $5 million in its second week. Ferrari have, I don't know, it's at number 8.
Is that a Tom Selleck movie?
And at number 9, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's at number 9, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do that.
Hopefully, one more week.
It'll probably be, next week
It'll
will
be at
probably
number
be the
10.
last one, yeah.
A movie he loves to talk about and has no plans to ever see.
Right. I haven't seen any of them. And finally, The Boy and the Heron hangs on to the number 10 spot. And real quick, since we wrapped up 2023, let's see who won the box office this past year. This will be your worldwide totals, your grand total, if you will. And the winner of 2023 was Barbie.
Barbie. Knew it.
Of course.
$1.4 billion.
I was hoping the poster was going to show up on the TV in the back as soon as you said
Oh,
it,
that would
but
have been perfect.
right?
No, yeah.
It didn't work.
Nope.
And a close second place was the Super Mario Brothers movie, which brought in $1.3 billion.
That was a fun
It was
movie.
only an $80 million difference between the two of them. So we almost had a photo finish there.
Peaches, 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 peaches. That's a good movie.
And
That
as
was-
always, there's usually a big difference with your domestic totals and your worldwide totals. They tend to save movies if they don't do well here in the States. So Oppenheimer came in at number 3, $952 million. It only made $326 here in the States. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, $845 million. And you'll never guess what number 5 was. Maybe you will. I don't know. Fast X took number 5.
Makes sense.
Did insanely better overseas. It brought in $146 million domestically and brought in $704 million
Of course it did.
overseas.
Of course it did.
Other things to note: Transformers: Rise of the Beast took the number 12 spot. That's what I said. If you're curious how old Indiana Jones did,
Still haven't seen that.
I know. I think we'll close the book on old Indy after tonight, but its grand total was $383 million with a rumored budget of 300, but I don't know if that's true, but that's the rumored budget.
Ouch.
At least they made some back.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Maybe they made some bonus bucks.
Apparently
But he's out
not.
of the picture.
With the
Time for good
exception of
movies,
Guardians Volume 3, all superhero movies bombed. No luck with the superheroes this year.
Leave them be.
Um,
Stop making them.
Some of the worst were the Marvels, Shazam, and Blue Beetle. Did not fare well domestically or worldwide.
Because nobody gave a shit about Blue Beetle. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. They keep making these fucking movies. Stop it. Stop it.
They need to take a break.
They do. Like, take a small little, just come down, just off the little
there it is.
pedestal and think about the other comic books that don't get all the love that probably need to have the fucking love. And then maybe, just maybe, we might stop trashing them. But,
Maybe.
you know,
Yeah.
could just be.
Hello, Melissa.
Hey.
Good evening. And
Happy
Happy New Year.
Show.
Well, that's a different banner.
That is
Hello
a
there.
banner.
Oh, Chad asked about the Flash. Its grand total was $270 million.
That's terrible.
They
They
should
got a
just
lot
made
of
another
hate. I
Batman
didn't think
movie
it was
with
terrible.
Keaton. They should have just made another movie with Keaton as Batman and left it as it
So.
not being a Flash movie.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year.
Beef jerky time.
No, we had all the beef jerky last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate way too much beef jerky, and I paid for it the rest of the week. But
I could eat beef
it was
jerky all
delicious.
day.
What can I say?
Salt does bad things to us old folks these days.
Oh,
What are you
moving
telling?
on from the box office, and some hilarious news that just happened the other day. The trademark for the Mickey Mouse character, Disney lost it. I believe, was it Sunday? It was Sunday or Monday. The copyright expired, and within hours of that copyright expiring, we have already getting a Mickey Mouse horror video game and 2 Mickey Mouse horror movies. The trailers for all 3 are available on the YouTube.
So
See YouTube.
I believe it's Steamboat Willie, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Steamboat
Steamboat Willie's one, and what was the other one? Mickey fucks up.
Mickey fucks
Mouse
up.
Hunt.
Mickey fuck something. A different movie altogether.
Hey, man! It's only January. We might get that one still.
Well,
Mickey
you all
fuck something.
posted in our group about this, and I was like, what the fuck? And then the next thing I saw was author Judith Sonnet had made this post. She wrote, it is now legal to fist Steamboat Willie era Mickey Mouse. And I was like, what the fuck did I miss? And she was just basically just saying like, it's free to do whatever with. And I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna open up a can.
Oh boy!
I mean, it's gonna open up a big can. I mean, we've already seen the Winnie the Pooh crap, and they're trying to do all this, and now they can really actually have the actual character and not have to change it. And
Only the 1928 version, not the newer.
Oh, that could be even more fun.
The new and improved Mickey.
You look kind of creepy anyway. Moving on, and what might the way this is going, this might become a regular segment in the show, and that is sexual allegations against celebrities.
Welcome to 2024.
No,
we don't have enough time on this show to discuss.
God,
the ones we
Hollywood
know of.
done.
As this past week, Jermaine Jackson is added to the list from allegations way back in 1988, strangely, but he is now on the list. And speaking of being on the list,
I was going to say,
just the other day, Chris Jericho broke Twitter as allegations against him came out.
What?
Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday, wasn't it? Because it was the day of the pay-per-view.
you know what they say? Raw is Jericho.
Oh,
now more and more has come out as there's a joke there, but
at least you're not standing in front of him.
I'm not going to say it.
I was going to say, and he'll stand behind you as well.
But more wrestlers are coming out. This will be interesting. I'll just leave it at that because
are they coming out saying are wrestlers coming out against him? Like,
There's been
really, I didn't know about any of this.
Where's all the Jerry Lawler stuff?
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's purely speculation at this point.
I'm gonna have to look into this shit after the show.
Yeah. So either check Twitter or check with the Google people. I don't want to.
The Google people.
I don't want to say anything else about that. Mr. Tom Wilkinson died. I'm sorry. I just had a brain fart.
I'm glad that's
it
hilarious.
Just stopped working.
Tom Wilkinson family,
sorry.
We truly apologize for the cruel and unusual manner of our host, David.
Wow.
My brain stopped working there. For getting old is no joke.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Who's Tom Wilkinson?
He played Carmine Falcone in Batman Begins. He was the priest in The Exorcism of Emily Rose, the Full Monty. Okay. He passed away unexpectedly December 30th at the age of 75. So,
man, what is it with that day?
There was a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah. If I could say that again. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't do that on purpose.
Deja vu.
It's gonna be.
What did you say?
And if you need any more proof, which you probably don't, but if you need any more proof that Hollywood is completely out of ideas, Adam Sandler's next movie called Spaceman pays off of a joke from a previous film, Funny People. So they made a movie about a joke from another movie that nobody saw.
I saw it, and it wasn't funny.
Wasn't that the one with
Seth Rogen?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because in the movie,
I don't think he's funny anyway.
Yeah, they teased a movie in the film called Astronaut, N-O-T, and they made a movie about that. That will be called Spaceman.
Okay.
Times we live in, folks. Another upcoming movies. The Minecraft movie added Jack Black to the cast. Wasn't he supposed to retire? Well, anyway, I like Jack Black. That's cool. I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I like the fact they're putting out some more like good, movies for kids. Like, like not just a bunch of cheap shit. It's like there's more movies that are coming out that are a little bit more well done. Better actors, better scripts, stuff like that, like for kids. Even going down like to Mario coming out, like that made me really happy that they did it the way they did and all that. It was like, that was a great, good movie, So.
All right, that's it for the news. Dare we move on with the show? Because I'm a little scared after I think I had like a mini stroke or something.
Be all right.
All right, on with the show.
Hocus
I'm sorry.
Pocus.
See, I had another glitch. Real quick, we got. Oh, guess what we got? We got another viewer submission.
Viewer submissions.
And this, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is Young Dax.
Oh yeah,
he is our go-to when we need to consult the youth of America. And if you remember from last week, we opened our Christmas presents and we pulled together and got him a present that he absolutely loved. So to show his gratitude, he decided to send in this video.
I'll show you.
I just wanted to say thank you for the signed postal. Bye.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. That was awesome. He's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good.
Chuck, you said that you didn't even have time to film him opening the present because he just tore into it so quick.
Yeah, because I said you all got him something, and I showed him the video of Lillard signing it.
Oh, okay.
And it hit him a little bit, and I was like, well, and I gave it to him, and it took him a second, and he, like, before I could even get my phone, he'd already gotten it out. So I was like, well, okay. I was like, do you want to send a, thank you video? And he was like, yeah. I think he wanted to say more, but he completely just was like, all right, I'm good. So, yeah.
That shit was perfect. Thanks, guys. Bye. Right, fuck off.
Bye. Well, we're glad he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
We're actually
show that real quick.
Yeah, no, I'll let him know that you'll played it. But yeah,
That's awesome.
I got to find a frame for it because I don't want it to, because I need frames for a lot of my son stuff, and for that, like it'd be kind of cool to have actually in a frame, put it in his room and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because his room is it's Five Nights at Freddy and blacklight stuff all over it now, so fits.
Oh, yeah. Nice. All right, folks. So let's move on. We'll start with our favorite three.
And before we get into this, though, let us remind you that there are no spoilers in this one. This is spoiler-free. These are recommendations of what we enjoyed and what we didn't enjoy. So we're not going to spoil all the movies that you were trying to see, or maybe you did see this year. We're going to give our favorites and our least favorites and say a little bit about what we liked or what we didn't like. So you can enjoy this episode without getting spoiled.
Yes, because loose lips sink ships. Or DVD players.
My mind went right in the gutter, so I'm not saying a thing.
All right, I guess we'll go with the usual order. I kind of went with movies that were the most fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did I go to and I felt entertained? I just enjoyed watching. I didn't feel preached to, or I didn't like anything like that. Just a movie that I enjoyed and I entertained me. So my number 3 goes to Renfield. Probably the most pleasant surprise to me of the year, as I didn't know what to expect with this movie when we went to go see it back in April, I believe. It turned me into a big Nick Cage fan. I didn't hate Nick Cage. I was just kind of indifferent. I was just like, yeah, it's Nick Cage. He does movies and stuff. But after I saw this, I was like, I get it now.
He's been slowly working his way back into the graces over the last few years. He's been doing so many different films, And I feel like it kind of kicked off with Mandy. I don't know, maybe there was something else before that, but to me, it was like
It was Mandy.
He did Mandy, and then a few other ones, and now he's getting back into the swing of things where everybody's like, yeah, I'm digging Nick Cage again. So
yeah, his characters and the scripts he's doing are a little bit better because I used to hate him. Like I never thought I'd actually like anything Nick Cage just because like he ruined Ghost Rider. That was like a big thing for me.
Yeah.
But like the last few years, and then I was like, man, he's gonna be playing Dracula. This should be interesting. And like I think he did a good job. I think the movie overall. I mean, it's not on my list, but it almost made it to my list. It
you got to praise dude's work ethic as well. He's putting out like 4 to 5 films a year.
Yeah,
like a madman. He's putting out.
He don't stop working. He said he's going to bump out like 4 more, and then he's done.
Yeah, he's putting out like Sam Jackson movies, just like boom, boom, boom. Like,
yeah, and most of them, from what I've seen, have been good. I haven't seen Mandy yet. I still have not seen it.
You'll like that one. That's a good one.
But
I'm surprised you haven't
I've
seen
heard
that
good things. Me too.
I mean, I remember when the trailer first dropped for Renfield, and I was like, "What the hell is this? They're making like Renfield into a superhero? Like, what in the hell?" Because they showed that scene where he's fighting in the bar or whatever. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect when I went to go see it, but I walked out of the theater like very pleasantly surprised. We did do a review for that movie too, by the way, if you want to check.
We did.
Yeah, I think we were all on the same page there. It was just one of those ones we were pleasantly surprised by. Nick Cage. I've always been a Nick Cage fan for the most part. But Nick Holt, I was never really big on him. He did films that I was just kind of like, eh.
Right.
I think he did a good job in this as well. It was just one of those fun, entertaining ones. It's like you got the familiar story of Dracula and Renfield, and it's just a modern twist on it. And the CGI, like I said before, that I could have done without, but everything else, it was just a good old fun movie. So it was definitely up there for me too. I think I considered putting it in the top 3, but yeah, it didn't make my list.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Be careful.
We're all counting on you. Good luck.
All right. So, wow, this will probably be a long episode. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't
that's
know.
okay.
Like I like Renfield too. I mean, I'm a huge vampire fan in general anyway, aside from ones that sparkle. But
yeah,
can't go wrong with Nick Cage. I've been a fan of his for a long, long time. Ever since, what was he filming whenever we fucking seen him?
Oh shit, what was that movie called? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But it was something goofy. I don't think I even saw that movie.
But he was a fucking cool as shit dude too. Like,
oh yeah, super
he's
cool.
fucking just out there kicking it at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Downtown New York City.
Like in the full get up.
Yeah, and his full makeup. The fuck was that? It had that one dude in it that used to I don't know. Whatever.
So there you go. That's my number 3, Renfield.
Renfield. That's a good number 3.
And I had thought like, okay, this is a really good kickoff for the summer season of 2023. Boy, wrong again.
What the hell was that?
That was some good shit. Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, yep.
Oh, okay, right.
Yep, that's what it was.
Just popped in there. That wasn't actually a terrible movie, but it was a kids movie kind of thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 3. See, there's so much shit that came out this year. And I didn't realize, I thought some of the shit that came out this year, I could have swore it came out the year before. Like Renfield was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But one movie that really surprised me, well, I shouldn't say surprised me, but I thought was fucking hilarious, was The Blackening. Now, this had like a whole different spin because everybody knows the cliche of in all horror movies, the black person dies first. So in this movie, it's a whole film with a bunch of friends that go to a cabin and some crazy shit happens. And then one by one, they just keep thinking of everything they've seen in horror movies and they try to do the opposite. But then at some point, everything goes wrong. But this movie, I don't know, like I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but the whole fucking time I watched this, I just laughing my ass off. And I think I went back and watched it probably a total of like 3 or 4 times since it's been out. And I think it came out in, I want to say October or something like that.
It was when I've thought about watching, but like I didn't know. I just got too many scary movie vibes from it from the trailer, so I was like, I don't know.
I mean, it had that kind of that feel to it, but it was definitely different. Just the way it was set up, like it was just goofy as shit. And then we saw it on the trail. We saw the trailer for it whenever we went to go see Scream 6.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was too. I knew we saw the trailer for somewhere for something.
And as soon as it came out, when I saw the trailer, I started cracking up laughing, and I'm like, this is going to be fucking hilarious. Like it has that Tucker and Dale type vibe to it.
Okay.
Like it's definitely a fun movie. Like you just chill out one day and just want to laugh, like throw that shit on. Like you'll fucking crack up the whole movie.
Nice.
Any of you guys seen it?
I've not seen it.
Am I the only one?
I think you might be the only one, sir.
You're the only one.
That's okay though.
I watch a lot of movies.
I'll give it a watch.
Now I want to check it out because I wasn't sure. I don't know.
Yeah, that shit's funny as shit. It's on Stars, I believe.
I'll find it.
But it's a good one. I would definitely check it out if you have not seen it. If you like horror and you like comedy and you definitely enjoy the horror comedy smash ups, it's definitely up there. Like it's up there. Like it's as funny as like I said, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil or Scary Movie. It's a good one. It's a good time. You won't be disappointed.
Oh yeah,
that's what's up. All right, I guess I'll go next here. 2023, weird year for movies. I feel like I saw more movies this year than I have in a long time. I don't know if it's because we've been doing the podcast and everything more so, but I went back and kind of compiled a list of all the stuff I watched, and I was like, man, I did watch a lot of stuff, and I was disappointed by a lot of stuff. So, like you said, Dave, it was tough trying to come up with a top 3. But I think I narrowed it down to a few. And for me, number 3, kind of similar to what you were saying, Dave, was, a film that I had a lot of fun with, and was Thanksgiving. We just reviewed it not too long ago for the special and all. But it was just one of those horror movies that, Eli Roth has his own way of doing things, and it was one of those ones. I don't think it really surprised me, but I had so much fun with you guys seeing it and seeing the audience reaction, especially like when we're sitting there laughing at all the terrible parts, and they're kind of like, "What the fuck?" But it was
for me and Whitman too.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where the comedy and the horror came together just in the right way to where I didn't really have any real beef with it, as opposed to a lot of other films I saw in 2023 where I was enjoying them, and then it would be something, whether it would be the ending or something, just the third act. It seemed like a lot of the third acts were just like brutal, where I was like, this ruined it for me. But with Thanksgiving, I had a good time the whole way through. It had the, like we said, it had the kills, it had the gore, it had the comedy, just everything, to where it was just a fun all around flick. And like we said in the review, there's not really a lot of Thanksgiving themed horror films or whatever, but I feel like that's going to be one that's like a staple every year, kind of like Thanksgiving and all that. So it's definitely one that, we recommended, and, as my number 3, I'll recommend it again. So it's definitely worth a watch. I think people will enjoy it if you like horror and comedy, kind of like how Chad was saying, that the mashup with the blackening, the same with this, where it's a little bit, it seems good, like it's a little bit more different from what you were saying, Chad, but not too much. And
yeah, it's a little darker comedy.
Yeah.
So it's right up our alley.
So yeah, just a lot of fun.
It reminded me kind of like the same kind of like a Hatchet, like it's like the kills are pretty gory, pretty fucked up, and then and the story though, like the characters, kind of like it's all kind of funny, even though you shouldn't be laughing. I don't know,
right.
It didn't make it on my list, but it almost did on my list because it was a fun movie, and the people that bitched about it, I don't understand why they bitched about it. We
bitched
get in
about
these. There's a couple people I know that were like, oh well, blah blah blah. And I'm like, aren't you glad that we have just a fun slasher film? Like, it has to have some kind of meaning and blah blah blah. I'm sorry, I forget. We can't just have fun horror movies and slasher films anymore. It has to have some meaning behind it. No, fuck you. This was a fun movie, and I agree with you. It's not on my list, but maybe it should have been.
I'm surprised it's not on your list. I thought for sure it would be.
It almost did, but yeah, we'll get to that.
And I think, like I said on the Thanksgiving special, I feel like John Carver is here to stay. I feel like he's going to be, a staple in horror here in the next few years. Kind of like,
Art the Clown,
Victor Crowley. More modern characters.
I see. That's what I was actually going to say. Was like it'd be kind of cool if, like, Terrifier later down the road, like like how Ginger Dead Man and fucking Killer Bong and all that shit. Was it Killer Bong? No. What's it called? I don't know. But those movies like have like the verses, like like the Pope Man. I think it'd be kind of interesting if it was like, Art's like going through the different holidays. He makes it to Thanksgiving, ends up there, and then like that'd be kind of interesting. I think
a little mashup.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if you're taking it old school, like gore, take it old school all the way. Let's get to the fun verses. We don't have to go through all the big names, all that shit. Just give us that. That'd be fun.
There you go.
What did Melissa say? Yeah, she just watched Terrifier for the first time.
Nice.
Week. What did you think?
Yeah, he said oh nice, and I was going to say, well, we hope so, because that is a great movie. The second one's even better.
It is terrifying.
It's more puke-inducing, but I love it.
With number 3 on the way, anxiously awaiting its arrival.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. All right, Chuck. I'm curious what's on your list now. Like I said, I thought for sure Thanksgiving would be on there, because if you didn't know, we don't share our lists with each other. We have no idea what we're going to say. So,
all right.
Neither do me and Dave, and we've been hanging out since about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
For about like all our lives, and we don't talk about anything. No.
I think my list has changed 10 times in that amount of time.
Well, it's
wait till you see the second one.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah. Surprise!
It's beautiful.
Go back and watch All Hallows Eve too. That's where the introduction is.
Yeah, then you learn a little bit more. I saw we good. I saw the Justin Long movie. It's a Wonderful Knife. That is one of those slashers where you laugh at the kills, but it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that was one of those movies that like I really, really wanted to really like. It had funny parts to it, but it lost me. Like it was
okay, yeah.
I'm so tired of let's go. I'm tired of the let's go back in time. Oh God!
Then sat and watched it with me. Nice.
No, I'm just tired of the horror movies that they keep going back in time. It's like we got Happy Death Day and they did all that shit, cool. And then they had that one movie that came out that wasn't actually that bad, but they had it going back time too. That it was like an 80s throwback movie that came out recently. And like that was what killed me with this. Like, it's another. I get it. It's a Wonderful Life. Blah blah blah. I like the fact that it really was a Christmas movie and it had a Christmas ending to it. I do like that because you don't usually get a lot of the Christmas with these Christmas horror movies. But whatever. Yeah. All right. So my number 3, okay, on here was actually Talk to Me. Talk to Me because I'm so picky about possession films. Because much like zombies, as much as I like zombie movies, they've kind of worn out their welcome. Walking Dead, but like possession movies have kind of like gotten to a point where it's kind of ridiculous. You're bound to, put on Tubi or Pluto or any of these free things, and you're going to find about 50 fucking exorcism movies, possession films, and it's all the same bullshit. I heard about Talk to Me, and everybody was talking good things about it, and I was like, well, that doesn't necessarily mean shit in my world. So I watched it, and I really liked it. It wasn't too gory, but the moments that were blood splattered were pretty painful to watch. One moment in particular where a guy gets his face, he's bashing his own face, and it's a bloody mess, and I loved every minute of it. But this one was interesting because it's not a possession film where it involves like, oh, it's the church and it's like Satan and blah 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 blah. No, it's a fucked up hand, and if you do this, that, and the other, and you get possessed by whatever, and a bunch of dumb kids, basically playing with a Ouija board of some sort. Basically, is what it is, but it's not a Ouija board. It's a hand, whatever. And it's creepy. It's got a good creep factor to it. Like I said, it's got some brutal moments in it, and there's the overall story of it's pretty. It's old school, but it's new school, and I like that when you can take an old school concept and kind of run with it a little bit, because it also reminded me, because not just the possession factor of it, but it also reminded me of like the monkey's paw, be careful what you wish for kind of thing, and it has that same kind of feel, because a bunch of dumb kids like, oh, let's all be possessed, it's a lot of fun, be careful what you wish for. And so it has a little bit of, like I said, that old school kind of feel to it. So I had to make my list because it's a good one. I got chills just thinking about it. I think it's a good fucking movie. So talk to me. I don't know, have any of you all seen that one yet?
I haven't
Yes.
seen it.
Chad, you seen it?
Yes.
So me
It
and you the
almost
ones
made my list. The only thing that bummed me out about the whole thing is about 20 minutes in, I knew where it was going.
Oh yeah.
So that's what brought it down for me, because it was almost on the list, and I was like, I'm still like I liked it. I liked the concept, but then just because of that, it brought it down. So like I'm just kind of like indifferent.
The predictability of it.
Yeah, like I kind of knew where it was going, but whenever you watch as many horror movies as we do, you can start picking them apart pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you can
that's
kind of figure
understandable
it out a bit.
Yeah, like no, like I get that completely. Like for me, like I
Like
said,
you said though, the gore scenes were fucking cringy.
Oh, dude, like there's the scene I'm talking about with the guys just bashing his face. Like that part was painful to watch.
Smile was terrible.
Smile was horrible. No, that's something else I was going to make the point of. Smile was one of those movies that was. It's not on my bad list either, but it probably should be.
I think it was on our. I think that was on our bad list last year.
That was on our shit list last year.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was okay. My timing is, that one was. That one was a possession film that wanted to mix Sixth Sense, The Ring, and It Follows, and It Follows is the only one out of those three that I actually like. And I just thought that the execution of that movie was.
It just reminded me of too many movies.
They wanted to. It was just mush. It was just a bunch of.
They chopped 4 different movies. And
that's right.
On one.
That's what they even copied shots from other movies. That's right. See, I had almost completely forgotten about it, because I remember like when the trailer came out, I was like, oh shit,
that's the one that we said reminded us of Fallen.
Yeah, it's like this is something different. This is cool. I can dig it. And then as the movie went on, especially the ending, I was like, swing and a miss.
And we talked about that last year, where it was like. Their marketing of the film was great.
Good.
They nailed it. With the people in the, the stands at the sporting events and stuff.
Yes.
The woman like right behind home plate, like just there, like, you're like, what the fuck? But they marketed it great. But then when you watch it, like we said, it felt like too many other films. Like when you get to one point in the film where I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is Fallen, and as soon as I think of something else, it takes me out of what I'm watching. I'm like, man. That was last year, but this year, we're moving on. Talk to me. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but I'm curious.
I think it's a good film. I think it's definitely it's one that I think it's rewatchable. Like I said, the originality of it, of the ideas, that's what did it for me. So I had to put it at number 3.
Nice. All right. So my number 2. From my most favorite, my number 2 was Thanksgiving. I don't have a whole lot more to add, but I agree with everything Mike said. The only other thing is I had the killer picked out right away, but I didn't care. I didn't care. Because we said before, a lot of those whodunit horror movies keep making the same mistake, and the big star of the movie is always the killer. And that's how, not because I'm a genius or nothing, but
same thing with the It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah, and the Scream, since 4 through 6 Scream, they've been doing that, and it's just that's all. But again, I didn't care; it didn't bother me at all. I still love the movie.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it's great whenever you can have a film where even though it can be predictable, you can still enjoy it. It's
Right.
people always say, if it's predictable, it's not fun anymore. But I always say, the example I always give is Titanic. I'm like, going into Titanic, exactly how it's going to end. So, but it didn't stop everybody from enjoying it and being the biggest grossing film of all time.
Right. And it's just kind of like what I just said about Talk to Me too. Like I kind of figured that one out, but with Thanksgiving, it was a lot different.
Yeah,
just because
you're enjoying it.
Yeah, like it was just, I don't know. Like that movie was just good shit.
Yeah,
it's actually tied for number 1 on my list.
Oh, okay, because Thanksgiving, though, like there's a difference between when you have just a fast paced movie, and Thanksgiving is a fast paced slasher film. I think there's not really a boring moment. You're kind of like, all right, I can get behind this, the whole thing. Like it's, I don't know, breath of fresh air completely.
Yes,
that was definitely like one of the funnest movies I've seen this year. Especially like we talked about whenever Mike was put up as his third, was just the crowd reactions pretty much to us laughing at shit that seemed almost inappropriate laughter, but just like the reactions of the people in front of us.
I didn't know. Like I was watching the movie, I wasn't paying attention to the people, and then when they told me that, I was like, oh fuck. Should we go find these people and assure them that we're not a couple of psychopaths?
No, you let them believe you're psychopaths.
There's some psychos living in Cumberland.
Because I was like, and I know I busted out laughing when the dude's sitting in the car and that pole or whatever comes in and just smashes his face. Like I busted out laughing just because it caught me off guard, and it was just so over the top that it was funny to me. Like we all grew up on movies like that, so I just feel like the three of us saw a different movie maybe than.
Well, I gotta say
that in the crowd.
I gotta say though, when me and Whitman went and saw it, we weren't the only ones in there that was laughing when we were. So we weren't the only ones that were fucked up in the head. There were a few people that were kind of like, huh? What?
So our theater was quiet, and then you just hear us laughing at the top of our lungs.
Yeah, Mouse Girl is full of a bunch of freaks, so we're proud.
So Thanksgiving was my number 2. So we'll be okay. I forgot we might overlap a little bit. So I thought that was going to be a 3-hour episode there for a second, but I think we'll be all right.
I mean, it's still mine.
That's all right.
Number 2, I went a little different. A movie that I saw that I was looking forward to seeing and wasn't really sure if I was going to like it or not was Sisu.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole spin on that, like a whole, what was that, World War II? Mm-hmm. With him being like a gold miner, finding his stash, and then he's trying to get back home and cross his paths with lots of Nazis who are trying to steal his gold, and he will not let that happen, and he goes through some John McClane shit to not make it happen.
I heard it was really good. Actually, the other night I was told it was really good.
Like it's like the World War II Rambo kind of deal going on there. Like it was pretty vicious with the kills and how he was fucking tearing people apart.
I mean, any movie that has a bunch of like Nazis being like destroyed is kind of.
I mean, that's a good movie.
I don't see a problem with it.
We're here to kill Nazis.
Nazis, that's right.
But no, that was a fucking good movie. Like I don't usually do a whole lot of war type movies. I don't know, like they weren't really my thing. But this one really surprised me. That's why I wasn't sure with it going into it how I was gonna like it, but it definitely like doesn't have like a whole lot of like the war element shit like Saving Private Ryan and shit. It just kind of shows you like the outskirts of what the soldiers would be doing if they were trying to go somewhere else.
That's like the background.
Yeah, like the whole movie takes place basically on the road.
It was fun. It
was really fun.
Where's that streaming at?
Yeah, I think it was on Hulu whenever I watched it.
Was it? This is another one I haven't got to see yet, and I remember seeing the Red Band trailer, and I was like, "Oh, this looks like it might be good."
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's good. If you just want to see some brutal killings and see some Nazis get killed, you don't feel like watching Inglourious Bastards. There you go.
Right.
There you go. Right on the same page as that. All right. Well, for me, number 2 is something I just saw, Iron Claw. The story of the Von Erich family.
Nice.
I'd been wanting to see it. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about going to see it right before Christmas, and then
I think it was
Dave,
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Dave wasn't feeling well, and
Oh,
we never
my
got
fault.
to. Oh, that's
You
cool.
guys should have went anyway.
Man. But I did finally get around to seeing it, and you know, being a wrestling fan, I enjoyed it. It felt, you know, a lot like The Wrestler, the Mickey Rourke film, where it was a film where they actually took the business seriously, and it wasn't, you know, cartoonish. It's an A24 movie, which, you know, they've been, you know,
Great
killing it.
studio. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
they make some great flicks. And if you know anything about the Von Erichs and their history, I mean, most people just know of, you know, of Kevin Von Erich, Kerry Von Erich, Texas Tornado, stuff like that. And, you know, the things that happened to their family, it's always been said there's been the Von Erich curse because so many terrible things happened to them. And you get to see a lot of this stuff play out because for the most part, you're just like, oh, well, these guys died. But you understand more so what is happening to the family and what they were going through to get to that point. Now, ultimately, you know, people pass away, but there was a lot more to the story and the struggle that their family went through and what they contributed to the business down in Texas. And I think Zac Efron, he's a guy I've never really been big on. Another one, like I was saying with Nick Holt earlier, not a big fan. There's a couple films that I like him in, but I think he did a very good job in this one as Kevin Von Erich. And the dedication, him, Jeremy Allen White, just everybody took it very seriously. You know, I saw interviews with them where they were very respectful of the business, and they realized how much goes into the performance and what these entertainers do, and how they give their lives, basically their body and their life, to this art form. And they took it very seriously and had a respect for it. So you can tell when you watch the film that it's not a joke. And there's a couple little things, like the guy that plays Ric Flair in it.
Did see that?
Didn't hit the mark. They left out the Chris Von Erich,
right? Yeah,
the youngest son. So there's a couple little things that you know, if you're a wrestling fan or historian of wrestling, where you're gonna be like, it's not completely true to the tale, but for the most part, I think they get it right, and I think they did a good job with it. So if you're a wrestling fan, definitely check it out. And even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think you'll enjoy the film just because it's a tragedy in a way that, you know, everything their family went through, but it pays homage to what they did and their legacy. So definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, me and Dave were talking about today that we wanted to watch that, and we were like, fuck, we still didn't get to see this yet. But it's definitely on my to watch list.
Like I haven't seen it, and I still almost put it on my list. Just because.
Yeah, because The Wrestler was fantastic, and I had a feeling it was going to be kind of like that, show like the darker side of the ring.
And that's a great thing. You know, there were so many people that enjoyed The Wrestler that weren't wrestling fans. You know, they were like, wow, this is just a really good story. And I feel the same way about Iron Claw.
Yeah.
And it's good to see Zac Efron taking on roles like this, because I think he's good. He just needs to break out of that Mickey Mouse Club shit or whatever. Because he played it was Ted Bundy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That he did before that, and now he did this. So it's good to see. And finally,
he's definitely stepping up his game.
Good.
Yeah, break away from the Seth Rogen comedies. And
that too. He always plays like that jock douchebag kind of character.
Yeah, like I always think of him as in Baywatch.
Yeah.
It felt like he got typecast there for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the same with Robert Pattinson. I feel like these guys are really, really good actors, and they just need to catch a break. And I feel like it's good to see Zac Efron maybe finally get a break.
It was kind of like how Daniel Radcliffe was too.
Oh yeah.
Getting typecasted to being like, you know, well, for him it was like being typecasted being a little boy even when he was in his 20s.
That's probably even worse.
That was that shit, Guns Akimbo or whatever that came out.
Yeah, that
shit
was great.
Crazy.
He was what was that? Swiss Army Man, where he just plays a dead guy the whole time. Like that's a
Interesting.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, that's such a weird movie. Such a weird movie. He also was in the Joe Hill based film Horns. That was actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one. I only seen bits and pieces of that.
It was a good one. It's funny too.
Where are we at? Number 2, Chuck?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mike. Anything else?
No, that was it.
Iron Claw? Okay.
I
do want to
so my number 2. What? My number 2 was, because the way I was going with this list is like, what are movies that I see me watching again? What movies do I see me going, I kind of watch, and this next one, I love it, and I think you all do too, because it's got a little bit of a true story to it or whatever, but not really. But it's funny, it's gory, it's brutal, it's hilarious. Cocaine Bear.
I almost put that one too.
I knew that was going to be on somebody's list.
It's just too good. I've watched it maybe 4 times already. You know what I mean? And it's so good because it goes with that whole, the horror comedy thing, and it does it like perfect. From the acting that's in it. I mean, the script is just written perfectly to where it's like it's hilarity in every corner. I mean, they had the guy from Modern Family in it playing a hilarious fucking character, and gets one of my favorite kills of that movie. Just everything about it was hilarious. I mean, I thought it was good. Like I said, the parts where, the bear was attacking, when it was brutal, it was brutal. There were parts where you're like, God damn, just fucking go. Like, you put yourself in the mind of like opening up a door and there's a fucking blood hungry bear staring you down. What do you do? And they just stand there most of the reason, for some stupid reasons, longer than it should. But I thought it was a good one, and I thought it deserved to be on my list, because I was like, what movie, goes up, and I'm just like, man, Cocaine Bear, what a fucking great.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, for sure, because it falls into that category, kind of with Thanksgiving, and like Dave was saying with Renfield.
Yeah.
It's just one of those ones you can sit down and go for the ride and have a good time. You're not taking this seriously. It's a bear on cocaine. Come on. Because so going in, it's going to be absurd, and you just have a blast doing it. And on top of that, it's Ray Liotta's last film, so you get that little that vibe of like, oh man, you get to kind of see Ray Liotta one more time. And that kind of it kind of adds to it, I think, where it's like, it's a good film, and it's a good way for him to go out.
Oh, I mean, considering the fact that he got to play a good fella type role, what I mean? Like, he got to be that guy, at the end that we all kind of that pretty much made his career, and what we all loved about him.
It's like a 70s coke dealer.
And the guy, and it's still, and like what blows my mind about Ray Liotta, his whole career, everybo's been terrified of the guy, because like, man, blah, blah. And he never ever he was never in a fight his whole life. He's like, people always think I just, he's like, no, I never got a fight in my life. He's like, the most non-fighting person you'll ever imagine. But these movies made him a very intimidating fellow, and it was cool to see him kind of give us a little bit of what we all love about him. Unfortunately, it was the end. But yeah, it's a good one.
And like we had talked about whenever we did our episode on Cocaine Bear, it's loosely based on a true story, of Andrew Thornton. And it's crazy to think, when we go back and you look at the history of what actually happened, it's an intriguing story within itself. So it has the layers, it has the kills, it has the comedy, and it has the true story behind it. So definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, and I also gotta throw I'm drawing a blank on her name. The one that directed it.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah. Man, the fact that when I didn't know she made this until after the fact, and I was like, I am sold. If a movie says that she made it, I'll check it out, because the fact that she did this one, just yeah. and she's always funny. I mean, even in Zack and Mary Make a Porno, she was like one of my favorite characters, like in the movie, favorite actresses in the movie.
I don't think I've seen Blackbird. Anybody see Blackbird?
No.
Yeah, he was in that. He Jim Keen, I think, is Big Jim Keen in that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen Blackbird.
It's a series.
Oh, okay. That's
okay.
right.
We don't, and it's unfortunate we don't discuss enough TV on here. I don't think we've discussed really.
We haven't had a
anything.
TV show yet.
It's tough because we got to.
It's a lot of crap.
How do you do it? You can't really do a whole compendium of.
We can do it. We can do it. We just have to discuss
break down a season of a show or something.
Yeah,
or like
we
episodes.
talked about it a bunch of times, but like you said, I don't know how we're going to format it.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I've been thinking about that myself.
Chuck's got a laptop now, so if we do a 6-hour episode, we might be all right.
A 3-hour tour.
Like I'm sorry, that's the last one. I won't do it again for the rest of the year. But like we were talking about, if we did the Shield or something, my God, that'll be a 24-hour fucking stream.
So good.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, that is a good one. I know we can brainstorm how to work around this. I think so.
We'll figure something out. We'll talk.
Yeah. We'll talk.
Because we do have TV shows in the video store. We just haven't got there yet.
Yeah. Anyway,
there you go. Cocaine Bear. Yes, that was back and forth on my list.
That's what I'm saying. This year was tough because there's so like Mike said, there's so much bullshit that came out.
It really was.
But I mean, all the good stuff though was good. Like,
yeah,
they were all equally good.
Oh boy! Drum roll. The number one.
Uno.
Number one, ladies and gentlemen.
I think me and Dave are in agreement on.
I finally saw it, and I loved it. Everyone was right. See this movie; it'll blow your mind. Godzilla -1. God damn, it was good.
Okay,
you guys went and saw that?
Oh, we watched it today.
Yeah. We went to the theaters to see it.
Wow, sweet.
Made on a budget of less than $15 million. And that might be a theme with all the movies we pick, except for maybe Renfield. They were all low budget. None of the movies on any of our lists were those. Well, they'll be $300 million movies on another list that we'll get to here soon.
Yeah.
But as far as the best of list,
garbage.
They were all in that range. In fact, I think Thanksgiving had around about the same budget of 15 mil. But Godzilla -1, Toho wiped their ass with the movies that came out of Hollywood with this film. I grew up on Godzilla. I'm a Godzilla fan. But with this film, even if you're just a casual viewer, I think you'll still like it because it's a drama. It's a war movie. Godzilla's in it, and he wrecks some shit.
He does.
But whenever he comes in, it means something. It furthers the plot. And
so
the human character. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, so if somebody just generally does not like these movies, is it something that person would like to?
Yes.
Like, I don't care about Godzilla, don't care about King Kong, never have, never gave a shit. Everybody's telling me this movie is awesome, and it's like it's pretty brutal in ways. So I'm just curious. Do you think that I would like it, Dave?
It's subtitled.
That doesn't bother me anymore.
Okay.
That doesn't bother me anymore.
Okay.
My number one is subtitled, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
This shit.
I know what it is. I know what it is now. Okay.
This definitely took me back to like whenever I used to kick it with my grandfather whenever I was like 8-9 years old and watched old fucking like Universal Monster and then plus like Godzilla and King Kong movies. Like it has that same feel as the original. The CG looked good compared to like the newer shit that's been coming out from the States, like King Kong versus Godzilla and fucking the Matthew Broderick garbage movie.
God.
And
we don't acknowledge that movie.
like he actually, my biggest gripe about the movie, like to me, would be that I still wish it would just be a man in a suit.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that shit, man.
It would almost be better than the CGI, though, right?
Huh?
It would be almost better, like if they would just like take away the CGI.
No, I mean I wish I would because it would have gave it even more of that old school feel, and that shit was great back in the day. Just seeing some dude stepping on fucking little miniature scale models.
Oh my gosh, that shit was so fun. I remember there. I can't remember what film it was, but they re-released Godzilla, one of the old Godzilla films in the theater, put it back on the screen. And a girl I was dating at the time, I was like, let's go see that. That'll be fun. So we go there and there's nobody else in the theater because, it's just the old Godzilla flick that they're re-showing on the big screen. So we're in there and we're like, well, fuck, we got the whole place to ourselves. So we just acted a goddamn fool. And whenever Godzilla would come on the screen, we'd run around the theater. Just acting like awesome. Total idiots. And it was just so much fun. And, it's one of those things where, it's a guy in a fucking suit.
Can we applause that memory real quick? That's a good memory for a movie. We need to have applause for that.
That's a good.
For what?
Where's the button?
The old school.
Cue the button. There we go.
So that's a good memory there. I like that.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
But Godzilla in this one was terrifying. He was the villain, which is always when he's at its best. It took it was like the old black and white one, the original.
Yeah. That's why I think that a guy in a suit would have been better. Because it definitely had that old school feel to it, like 100%. It took me way back.
The visual effects were so good. Again, on this shoestring budget. And the same guy wrote, directed, and worked on the visual effects for this film. And it's insanely good. And the human characters are not annoying. You actually root for the human characters. You actually feel for them. There's elements of, the war, like the PTSD. Well, the main character, again, we won't spoil anything, but the main character is going through like survivor's remorse. And he's lost everybody in his life, and in the end, he redeems himself. Oh shit, sorry.
Because it takes place in 1945.
Yeah, this takes place during World War II, right before, because the original Black and White, I think, came out in 54, somewhere around there. But it takes elements from that, and the tragedy of war, the consequences of war, and this and that. So it's a powerful flick.
Do we get any cameos from Mothra or Mecha Godzilla?
Negative, but they do play the classic Godzilla theme.
And they use the old Godzilla roar.
Yes.
Will it give it away if I ask what's minusing one? What is -1?
So I believe it is supposed to be a prequel to the black and white one.
Okay.
Because I think we were talking about that, was it last week or the week before, that I thought maybe that's what that meant, but
that makes sense.
I believe so.
Okay. I was just curious. But now, okay. Now I might be sold on it. I might be
all this goes into a tight, it's a 2-hour movie. 2 hours even. Somehow they managed that. The writing is so good, and I don't know how they crammed it all in there.
That's what she
said. But there's
said.
still badass. Like I said, it's a drama and a war movie, but Godzilla's still in it. And man, he wrecks some shit.
He does. Like I said, this is my number one as well, and this is what I had tied with Thanksgiving.
Brother man.
Okay. Wow, both number one. That's impressive. I'm gonna have to watch this shit now.
Yeah, no shit. I'm not a fan, but now I'm kind of like, all right, I can give it a shot.
Well, I was more skeptical, like you, Chuck, because like we've talked about before, with all the Godzilla films that come out, is kind of like, I'm sick of this shit, because they always fuck it up.
The legendary movies.
And then like Chuck said before, what the fuck is a -1? So it's like confusing, and it's a part of another Godzilla film. So I wasn't really sold on it. But now you guys are putting it over, and I'm kind of curious. So
I was sketched out before I watched. Like you said, I mean, the last few Godzilla movies they've had were terrible.
Yeah,
CG looked awful. But this one here, it definitely has that look.
Right.
But I still wish it would have just been a person in a suit. But it's fun.
Excellent.
Am I loud enough? Okay, there you go. My levels look down. Anyway, all right. So that was your number one too, Jed.
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean, it might have been because I just seen it too. I don't know, but I mean, it's good.
Yeah, a little after effect. All right, for me, number one. Oh my gosh, this was such an unique film, and I enjoyed it, and it made me kind of wonder where it was going the whole time, and I can only imagine what it would be to watch this while you're on drugs. My number one was Infinity Pool. And oh my gosh, it's a Cronenberg film. So going in, it's going to be interesting. And I know a lot of people, if they watched last year, I had put over Pearl and Mia Goth,
Yeah.
and this kind of piggybacks off of that because this film came out earlier in 2023, so she was still riding that wave of X and Pearl, and then Infinity Pool hit. She hasn't been doing much the last part of 2023, but we got Maxine coming up in 2024, so everybody's gonna be like, Mike, you're just a big mark for Mia Goth, but yeah, I am, because it's not just she's a hot chick, she's a fucking amazing actress. There's like I said last year with Pearl, it's so wild to see her performance, and in this one it's the same. There's just certain scenes she's just so captivating, and it's just little shit like you're watching it and she's like, without any spoilers, she's just like, talking to the main character, who also did a really good job in this, Alexander Skarsgård. But she's just there, and she's like on the hood of a car, and she's yelling at this guy, and she's just like, Jamesy, Jamesy, and it's just so, I can't do it justice, but it's you when you see her perform, it just something gravitates to her where you're like, everything. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just amazing acting, because when you got somebody that can and perform like that and act a certain way where you're just drawn into it, the character, that it's something special. And she, the last few films, she has done just an amazing job. So I can't say enough good things about Mia Goth. Everybody's going to be like, yeah, you're just a big mark for her.
I'm a fan of her too.
Yeah. She's she's not just another pretty face. She's a great actress. And this
will do.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see the other stuff she's got coming up. But kills it in this one. Alexander Skarsgård as well. I'm going to put that guy over because, oh my gosh, there are certain scenes in this film where his acting is great too. He's just so animalistic in certain scenes where it just, I'm watching, I'm like, this feels very real. Like, I don't know if this guy's on some kind of drug or something where he's method acting, but it feels very real. And without getting into too much detail, it's one of these ones. So
it's hard to explain what it's about without.
It's hard.
Without
giving it away. But shoot. But yeah. Here, let me see here. I'll pull up.
A couple find themselves on a vacation, meeting up with Mia Goth, and then things kind of go crazy.
All right, so the synopsis is: James and M. Foster are enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of Latoka when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. So, it's
a weird flick.
Yeah, you watch it, Chad?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird, but you're watching it, you're like, where is this going? And and I love stuff like that where I'm constantly like drawn into it to see where it leads, and ultimately, I'm not disappointed with how it ends. There's a lot of times where I'm like going along for the ride, and then ends like, what the fuck? But this one, they don't kill it for me. So Skarsgård, Goth. Just kill it. Cronenberg did a great job on this film.
Which you got to remember, it's not Daddy Cronenberg. It's Brandon Cronenberg. It's his second movie,
right?
I think. Yeah,
I forgot that movie came out this year.
He's about as fucked up as his daddy is too. So I haven't seen his first movie, but I've heard it was all right. But this one I really enjoyed too. So it almost made the list as well. Yeah,
it's like I said, very unique, and definitely worth a watch. Yeah, I think you'll be sitting there watching it and saying, what the fuck? But hopefully you'll enjoy it like I did.
Nice. Okay.
Damn good movie. Yeah. No, it's one of those that kind of get half and half. Either you love it or you hate it. I've noticed, and I understand that because it's not your normal thriller. It's not your normal horror movie. Whatever you think you know is getting in, no, you have no idea. The movie's fucking weird. And
the whole time I was watching it, I was like Mike said, I was like, man, I couldn't imagine watching this shit on some acid or some shrooms or something.
Yeah.
Like, that would fuck you up.
And it's definitely unique. Well, I keep saying that it's not a familiar story. It's something different.
Right.
It's not the same recycled bullshit that I've seen in a lot of the films from 2023. So yeah, definitely recommend watching Infinity Pool. It's not, it's definitely not for the family.
No,
but yeah.
If you like violence, if you like sex, if you like blood.
Infinity Pool is also one of the posters I pulled for the background.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure every movie that we've talked about so far is back on that screen at some point.
Very adult themed, so keep that in mind going in.
If you know anything about the Cronenberg family, then you can already, if that name, if Cronenberg anything is, if you see that name on a movie, you automatically know it's not for the family. I don't care if it's the son or if it's the dad. If it's the dad, really not for the family.
I believe Chuck's number one's also on the screen in the back.
Let's see if you all guess this one. I think it's kind of obvious. You all definitely know this one. So I saw this movie, my number one, my numero uno of the year.
Speaking of Infinity Pool, right there it is.
Oh, yeah. Nice. But I saw this, I guess, a couple months ago, maybe. I'm horrible with time, so I don't know. I kept hearing about it and I had to check it out. Where Evil Lurks. It's what is it? It's like Spanish, I guess. Spanish film.
Yeah.
Or is it, hold on. I don't want to get that wrong. I don't want to be an asshole. But basically, the idea of the movie is two brothers basically bring home a curse. Oops. Which in turn infects one guy that turns into this big blob of it's very body horror-esque. It's disgusting. And it's just bad thing after bad thing. People are doing bad things to themselves. It has a really brutal scene with an axe. Have you all seen this movie? Did you
I haven't seen it.
I have not.
I have.
I loved it. And the first, now I will say this, there's been a couple people that I've had watch it who were like, man, it's 20 minutes in, I'm kind of bored. And like, it's one of those that it starts off slow
burn,
but it is a slow burn. But once you get up to the shit, it's just kind of like
it hits the fan.
You know, bad things are happening to these people every corner. I mean, it's because I will say it. I mean, the scene that I mean, a guy is, or is it a girl or a guy? I think it's the girl. I think that does it, maybe, because I'm seeing a bunch of different shit in my head. But takes an axe and just hammers into their fucking head over and over again. I mean, some of the most. I mean, these.
It was a girl.
It was the girl. Okay, yeah. Because she. Okay, I won't give it away. Yeah.
Talk about a splitting headache.
For real.
But this movie is the kills in it, especially that scene. They're so well done. No CGI bullshit. Man, they almost look real. Did you get that feeling too, Chad? Watching these, like, I mean, they almost
it was it definitely had the old school vibe, and it definitely looked really, really well done.
Yeah, and I won't give it away, but there is a scene that I should not have laughed at. I'm not even, and Chad, you probably already know what the scene is, but it involves a dog, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh no.
No. It's I'm not gonna ruin it, because I watched it and I went and I cracked up laughing because it was so fucked. And I love this fucking movie. I highly it is, again, it is it's subtitles. But I've also opened my mind the last year and a half. Thank you, Whitman, on that one. To watching movies that
because you used to not like movies with subtitles.
I just didn't. For the longest time I was like, I want to watch the movie. I want to pay just that. But like, the thing is, I watch my movies with subtitles on anyway.
It's like you.
So the thing is, it's like, well, even though, like, you know, I know exactly what it's saying down there, it's like, okay, well, what's the fucking issue? And like, the more that I've watched, I didn't care, and I had to watch this movie. Had to watch it. I mean, I heard so many things about it, whatever. I just had to watch it.
That's why I watched it.
I'm trying to see.
I think we watched it roughly around the same time.
It is Spanish.
It is Spanish. Okay, I just want to make sure, you know. But man, I'll tell you, if Spanish horror movies keep coming out and they're like this, dude, sign me up. I want to see every one they come out with, because this shit was brutal. So that it had to be my number one. How could it not have been?
So in other words, you're saying muy bien.
What?
Si, senor.
Oh.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. I had the subtitles on.
Oh yeah, we don't have subtitles for the podcast. That's a weird thing, because I'm the same way. I'm not a big fan of movies with subtitles, but there's a lot of times that I'll put subtitles on. I don't know if it's just that I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old and I hate not hearing the dialogue. So I'm like, I got to catch what these people are really saying or what. But I don't know. I'll throw the closed caption on every once in a while.
And even though those closed captions, sometimes, especially Netflix, is really guilty about it, they are funny because they get them wrong sometimes.
Oh yeah,
subtitle.
And sometimes it's fun when that happens, but it's also frustrating. But yeah, no, I with subtitles and shit, one thing that got me being okay with it and giving it more a try was, you know, like I said, Whitman, he's like, man, there's so many, you know, Japanese films and whatever, dude, you
really
are films that you need to like see. And I was like, all right, you know, whatever. And like anime too. I wasn't even a big fan of anime either. And he had, you know, a few horror movies that are in the genre of it that I thought were pretty cool. So I was like, you know what? There's so many good movies out there that are being made. I mean, let's be honest here. We've been talking about like, okay, there's been a lot of shit that's come out the last little bit or whatever, but the ones that were good, that were good. But when it comes down to overseas, these motherfuckers are pumping out brutality like it ain't nothing. And I'm just like, I write, I read, I love watching movies. What's the fucking problem here, Chuck? So I had to give these movies more of a chance. And I have been a lot here lately. And this one just, I highly recommend it. If you like gore, if you like possession movies and it's a little different, wow, I got 2 possession movies on my fucking list. I never thought that would ever happen. You know, if you're into just the movie's pretty depraved in some ways, and it's pretty fucked up. But I highly recommend it to anybody that likes the same sick shit that we do.
When evil lurks.
Yeah, I'll definitely go out on a limb here and say that all Asian horror films that I have seen have been amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite Asian horror films of all time is probably The Sadness, because that movie was just fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah. I said where the evil lurks, didn't I?
You did.
When Evil Lurks.
I keep it correct.
When
but
Evil
no,
Lurks.
The Sadness. Oh, dude, I love that movie too. I had to see that one too. I was like, well, fuck, subtitles, whatever. Brutal. I mean, when it comes to like Japanese films and shit like that, dude, like as soon as it starts, it's like, okay, it's like slow for like 5 minutes, and then it's like, boom, there's a whole bunch of running, there's a whole bunch of things going on. People are getting like, you know, fucked in the face. There's blood going everywhere. Throats are being slit. I mean, there's an eye scene in that movie that I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, that movie's great.
To it. No, yeah, that's a favorite. I love that one a lot.
You know, I fucking hated subtitles for the longest time, and then I learned how to read, and they're not so bad.
I guess, you know, it's just stupid. Like, it pretty much is just me being a stubborn ass for years. So I have a lot of movies that I have to go back. I was like, oh well, man, my buddy Jason over here and so was saying these movies. I need to go back and watch these now because apparently they're fucking awesome. Yeah. So
well, there you go.
Makes sense.
There you have it. Our top 3 favorites.
Yep. Let's get to the trash now.
Oh boy, here we go.
Garbage day.
Yeah.
I feel like each of us could probably have a top 10.
I really, dude, yeah. I really hope that we don't have the same ones, but we might. We'll see.
This one was tough because narrowing it down to 3, and I might get some heat for this one, but it's what I'm going with. My number 3 is Scream 6, and let me explain.
You don't have to.
with
We have an
me,
episode on it.
It was the fact that this movie had me. It had me. I love the intro. I love the scene in the convenience store and this and that. Then the third act hit.
Mm-hmm.
And it all just fell off. Not because it had nothing to do with picking out the killer again, because that doesn't bother me so much. One dude got stabbed 20 sometimes. Courtney Cox had no reason to be there in the first place, but she got stabbed and lived. They all lived. It's like, I feel like maybe the studio cut their nuts off with that because they always want to leave the door open for the sequel.
Yeah.
And maybe they were like, you can't kill this person, you can't kill that person, whatever. It's just, oh gosh. But I think, again, that was the frustrating thing with me, is like, you had me. You had me.
You
And
fucked it
then,
up.
fuck.
You had me at hello, and then you left without paying. No, I feel the same way. Yeah, that movie, man, I had high hopes for it. I liked 4. I thought 5 was okay. 6, yeah, it starts out really good, and like a lot of these fucking movies, that last fucking 15 minutes, and you're like, what are you doing? This movie was going so well. You had me. I loved you. I was about to propose to you, and you fucked it up. You fucked it up. You fucked me. You fucked me. And
the intro was so good. That was my second favorite intro of all the Scream movies, next to the first one. See, that's what was frustrating to me with it. You like 4? Yeah, 4.
The fourth intro was pretty good too. But yeah, the first one, and yeah, I do like that one too. That was 6.
I think 1 and 4 are the best 2 movies out of the franchise.
And a lot of people going into this, they were, I was seeing reviews, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this is my favorite since the original." And I was like, "Ooh, really?"
That's high praise.
Had high hopes, and then go in, you're like, "Oh, this is pretty damn good." And then, like you said, drop the ball.
Fucked it up.
Yeah,
that's also on my list. I don't really have any numbers on my list. They're just shitty movies.
Yeah. In no particular order, folks.
And it's not, not necessarily
movies that I had high expectations for, and they just fucking did not come through.
And I don't know if I don't want to say they're shitty movies, because there's a lot of people that worked hard on these movies, and a lot of people did a good job. The acting, in this film is great. The cinematography is great. It's just that story. They messed it up in that third act.
It definitely wasn't any of the actors, for sure. I think, again, it was a clash with the studio and the writers. Yeah, I think it was one of those deals.
And go ahead.
I was just saying, I wonder how many writers were on this.
Oh, was it 2? Because it was that Radio Silence guys that did it. So I think it was 2.
Because usually you can tell when there's 2 people that have directed or wrote something, because it's like, especially writing. Okay, on writing, when it comes to writing a script and you watch a movie and you're like, the whole feel of this movie just fucking twisted. Like, what just happened here? And I almost could see, like, I don't know if they went back and forth on writing it, or they're like, yeah, I'm gonna write most of this movie, and then I'm gonna hand it over here to Josie, and she's gonna write the rest. I don't know who the fuck it was, but and they're gonna write the last 15 minutes of the movie. We don't really know much about what they're gonna do, but we're gonna just let them do it, because it's gonna be good. We're gonna do this, and then they put it out, and then everybody's like, hey, it was good until, well, you switched it over to what's her ass, what's his ass, whoever fucking did it. And I feel like that's what happened, because I'm with you. Like, man, you fucked me without a kiss afterwards. Like, nah.
No. And kind of piggyback, or wait, you go ahead, Chad. Or wait, did you say that was on there? You don't have a list.
It's one of mine, but I don't really have a list. No.
We'll pick. Like I was getting ready to say, piggybacking off that is the one that I was thinking of, that I don't really have a list per se of 1, 2, 3, but along that same line, Knock at the Cabin. It was another one where I was curious. M. Night Shyamalan. And I was like, okay, he's had a couple, misses. Yeah, a couple misses on the last few films. Quite a few. So I'm kind of like, okay, give this guy another shot. And this one just didn't do it. It was kind of interesting, but then it was like, what is going on here? And then the third act is just like, what the fuck,
So it's like,
like Smile. It was the same as Smile with me. It was such a great concept. Like, you got me okay, I'll check this out, and it's just like you said, it just really, that's it.
It's like you've seen it 1,000 times.
And I've
multiple
said it
films.
4 or 5 times, but I'm done with M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Dude, man.
Since The Village. I feel like
I've never been a fan of him.
Well, you shall not speak.
I've never been a fan of that guy, and I'll tell you my biggest thing, I've probably said it before, and I'll just tell it again, is I wasn't a fan of Signs. I wasn't a fan of The Sixth Sense. I haven't been a fan of most of his fucking movies. There was one movie that I watched. He had a couple movies that I like. Unbreakable
movies were good.
And Split and
Split was great.
and I liked and The Split. That was a different movie. And The Visit. I like The Visit. Like that was him too, wasn't it? I think.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I think it was
Mark
the
Wahlberg
kids.
one?
No,
that was
that's the Happening.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
hilarious,
Oh my god.
no,
Give me the lawnmower.
No, The Visit was about the kids that went to go
to the
see
grandparents'
house, and I like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I was okay with that.
Creepy.
But other than that, this guy put out years ago, back when Sci-Fi Channel was still a fucking thing everybody cared about, and he put out his own documentary about how mysterious he is
About himself.
Then I was like, well, I don't really want to support you because you're just wanting this. It's not just you're not working for it. You already think you have it.
What?
And unfortunately, his movies are garbage, a good portion of them. But just like The Village, the last fucking bit of that movie, like, it had me. I was like, I'm curious, but then I figured it out pretty. Not, I don't know. I wouldn't say half of the movie, but almost.
Yeah,
And then I was just kind of like, okay, this is stupid. There's no monster. Oh, I'm sorry, spoiler. The movie's been out forever. It sucks. Don't see it. I'm sorry. So fuck him, not Shyamalan. Fuck.
I'm trying to think.
Right.
I'm trying to think what the last thing I liked of his was, and what was that? What was that TV show he did? Oh shit! Wayward Pines.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I didn't mind that at the beginning, but then it kind of trailed off too. But I think that was the last thing that I was actually interested in was Wayward Pines. But yeah, same thing with Scream and Knock at the Cabin, just third act bullshit. For me, I guess it's not really a number 3, but it kind of bundles together 2 films. First, Pope's Exorcist and Exorcist Believer. I'm just going to combine those because I got the same beef for both of them. It's just we've taken The Exorcist and we just fucking capitalized on it. You know, the 50th anniversary of The Exorcist, so we're just going to put out more exorcism films and expect people to fucking love them. And no. You know,
couldn't even finish it.
I couldn't even watch it. I was just
fell
like, I'm not
asleep
even going to
watching
bother.
it, but I finished it today.
Boring.
But yeah, Pope's Exorcist didn't do anything.
Oh, that movie sucked.
I was hoping it was going to be good. I hadn't seen it as I've heard too much horrible shit about it. So I'm like, I'll watch it at some point. But I love Russell Crowe.
I do
and
too.
I hate the fact that it's apparently a pretty shit movie.
Didn't deliver. And then Exorcist Believer, you know, we were burying it before it even came out because it was another one of those Blumhouse creations. Yeah, it was fucking. I don't even.
Like,
know
I told Dave I watched it, and he asked me what I thought about it, and I was like, if Reagan and her mom wasn't in this movie, it really wouldn't have mattered. Also, I don't know how she became like she was almost like a knight in shining armor kind of shit going on, like where she's like, I'm gonna go, I have a connection, blah 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 blah. Like, why would she even have a connection?
Or
like,
anything,
so,
you know, it's like everybody's just so familiar with exorcism, and you know,
right.
we know what to do, and we'll just show up, and you know, no big deal. And the whole concept isn't really, you know, it's more that they're trying to convince the one character to believe in something,
yeah,
you know, and that's the whole point, you know. That's why it's Believer, because they're trying to make him believe. But it's like as soon as you see your child turning into some fucking demonic creature doing all kinds of crazy shit, you know, saying stuff that nobody on Earth would ever know. You're like, okay, this is real. Like you don't have to sit there.
I'm
and
not
be-
religious at all, but if I seen some shit, I'd be like, all right, maybe maybe I'm wrong here.
If I'm a skeptic on something and something like that happens, all right.
Sold.
Yeah. All right. What do we got to fucking do? Get me the Pope in here or some shit.
The only thing I'll say that is good about that movie is, well, for each movie, like the makeup looked great. I thought like the possessions, they went back to the old school, like Exorcist, like they kind of had like the pale green eyes and shit like that. So that was pretty sweet. And then like the same with the Pope Exorcist. I thought the best actor in that whole movie, like Russell Crowe, kind of let me down. But the little boy that was possessed, he fucking killed it.
You know what? I the thing that bothered me the most, I think, in Exorcist Believer was the voices. Like whenever you go back and watch the original Exorcist, and you know it's not Linda Blair's voice, but you can't really tell. It's not that noticeable. And then whenever I'm watching Exorcist Believer and the little girls are talking with the demon voice, it sounds so fake that I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It's terrible. And, you know, they throw CGI in there and you know how I am with that. And it's just,
You mean Blumhouse made a mistake with a movie?
Surprise.
Yeah, they paid a fortune for the IP, and it's just another one of those stupid legacy sequels that nobody asked for.
No.
And then we get Night Swim coming out Friday. So there's another film that
yeah, I wish James Wan would get the fuck away from them and do his own thing, because he is good. But
Night Swim.
Oh, I'm curious about that one, but it's probably gonna suck.
I feel like it is.
I mean, I'm hoping for a cool, like, you know, supernatural creature feature kind of thing, because it kind of gives you that idea. But it's gonna be one I don't have much high hopes at all, because, well, it's Blumhouse, and
I honestly don't know if there's a movie out there with their name on it that I've enjoyed. I honestly cannot tell you if there is one.
There are, but I mean, when it comes down to really like movies you really like, no, probably not. You know, Five Nights at Freddy, I know, whatever. That movie could have been better, but we also weren't really the audience it was for. And I've already told like my whole thing about that. So what?
Yeah, it's more kid product.
They'll get a pass for that because my kid enjoys it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than that, Blumhouse. And also, you know what? They probably could have picked a better name than Exorcist Believer, because you know what that sounds like to me? Exorcist Believer. And it just makes me think of Justin Bieber every time somebody says Believer. I'm like, Believer.
That would have been
better.
Go ahead.
Do you remember what he did when he went to over where oh fuck, the girl that was hiding from Nazis? I'm drawing a blank.
Anne Frank?
Yeah, he went to her house, right? And in the note in the book that you sign your name when you go in, you know, out of respect, you know, whatever the fuck. He wrote in it that I hope that she would have been a believer if she was alive.
What?
All right.
I mean,
so again, Exorcist Believer. That's what it is. Fuck you, Blumhouse.
Anytime I hear Anne
classics
Frank,
alone.
Anytime I hear the words Anne Frank, I just go back to Clerks 2.
And
Anne Frank.
and they only did it to make another trilogy, like they did with the Halloween movies. So I guess we're going to get the other two, whether we like it or not. And I didn't know this. I found this out like after the movie had already come out, that the same people that did the Halloween movies did these, because I just didn't care. I didn't pay attention.
Gordon Green.
I wasn't going to go see it anyway. But then I found out it was all the same people. Oh my god!
I think Exorcist Believer would have been more exciting. Justin Bieber gets possessed and fucking, you know,
I mean, that could
fucking tears apart Taylor Swift or some shit. I don't know. That sounds more compelling. Anyway, moving on.
I have more respect for Taylor Swift than I do Belieber. I hate all this fucking shit.
What about you, Chuck? What do you hate?
Everything. Okay, so I do have mine in a list, although I could probably, you know, the first one, this number 3 on my list here of the letdowns, is one that I watched recently. I'd heard a lot about it. Seemed like an interesting movie. I knew it was going to be somewhat artsy in ways, whatever. I was told that it's really, everybody was told, this movie is really, it's really like depraved and da da da. and it was really nothing. And these people suck when they tell me this shit. But Saltburn. I don't know if you've heard of Saltburn, but go on Facebook, and I'm sure somebody on there will post about how much they love the movie and it's their favorite movie. And the movie sucked. Okay. I'll tell you what. You ever seen what's that fucking movie? The Talented Mr. Ripley or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Yep. You got a guy who doesn't really have much going on for himself, and he's kind of a loser in ways. His home life sucks really bad. Well, the popular guy around school or whatever the fuck, like he's kind of got an obsession with this dude, and you know this from the beginning of the movie. All right, whatever. It's an obsession film. Okay. He ends up going to this guy's like house that's like this big like mansion. The family, they're all a bunch of rich assholes. Okay, they're all a bunch of fucking rich brats that get whatever they want, and they're fucking. There's no good characters. I hate every character in this movie. I mean, I know they want you not to like some of the rich kids and all that stuff, or whatever. But none of them have redeeming qualities. None of them. The parents in it are all pieces of shit. The kids are all pieces of shit. The main guy, Oliver, in it, I can't stand that motherfucker. He's a piece of shit too. I just can't stand it. Hey, it's. I'm okay with artsy fartsy movies sometimes. Okay, that's fine. I like that shit. Infinity Pool is an artsy fartsy movie when it comes down to it, but it's a much better one and it's done really well. Saltburn is a movie that it's extreme for people. Extreme for people who don't know what extreme is. There is a scene that involves menstrual blood. We haven't seen that 1,000 times. There is a scene that has to do with drinking bath water. Gross, unnerving, but is it that shocking? The movie's bullshit. It's bullshit. Everybody was like telling me, "Oh, you got to see this movie." Da, 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 da. I'm like, no, this movie sucked. This movie's nothing that great. There's elements about it. There's parts of it. It's shot really good. The way it looks good. I see what they were trying to go for with it, but they could have done so much more with it. And that's what pissed me off about it, because I was excited about watching it. And then by the end of it, I was like, well, that was 2 hours of my life wasted. Thanks everybody who told me that I should watch it. And so fuck Saltburn, all you fucking little trendy assholes. Fuck you too, man.
Cockburn.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Caterpiece.
All right, number 2 of the garbage continues. The sewage continues to flow. My number 2, I said, was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. God damn it. So this one was getting a ton of hype before it came, like a year or two before it came out. Because this was going to be the one where we finally got to see our new big bad, the one that was going to follow Thanos, King the Conqueror. God damn it. So I liken this to professional wrestling. We're going back to that again. In that you have your new monster heel that you're going to bring in and push to the main event or whatever. King the Conqueror is that heel. So what do you do with him? Now, Ant-Man, let's be real, is not an A-tier character. He's B or C, right? A mid-carder.
Goes back to what I said earlier.
That you bring in, and he beats King the Conqueror. So you just had your mid-carder beat your new monster heel. What's that do to his stock? It plummets. And Ant-Man himself, it's a new trend with these Disney Marvel movies that the main character, the character that's in the fucking title of the goddamn movie, plays second fiddle to all the other characters. His daughter was like fucking 16 or whatever, and comes up with this machine that could transport him to the quantum realm.
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
and there is a line in this film. Oh, and MODOK, they fucked him up.
I was waiting to fire on that. Oh my god!
Everyone in the trailers, they showed him for a split second, and people were applauding. Oh shit, they're bringing MODOK in. A line in this movie is, "Don't be a dick." Don't be a dick. What did he say? Like MODOK say, he said something like, I don't want to be a dick anymore or something. Some bullshit, something stupid. They were trying to be cute. They were trying to be funny. It didn't work. The movie sucked. You fucked it up. Take a look at all the Marvel movies that came out this year, and it's a fucking like that. And there's a reason for it, because you're pissing your own fans off. And what a surprise when you piss off your own fan base, they don't come to see your movies or buy a ticket. Fuck the mouse.
Look at the Marvels.
Dave.
Oh,
Down.
God. That was when it really fell off a cliff. Like I said, you can look. It just goes straight down a fucking cliff. And that's why, because you keep pissing people off.
And like you said, MODOK is the most cringy to me. Oh, my God. That is brutal.
What were we talking about?
They want to keep bringing in these fucking comic book characters nobody gives a shit about, and they wonder why they don't do well.
Well, I'm going to kind of jump over here, Chad, if you don't mind, because it kind of ties into. I'm going to take a leap. It kind of ties into that. I'm on the same thing. I kind of bundled this, like for my other ones, I was bundling the exorcism theme. I'm kind of bundling the superhero theme because, I think Quantumania was probably on the bottom of all of them, but I was really disappointed with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And Flash probably was the best of the three, but only because of Michael Keaton.
I agree.
It was more for nostalgia.
It was more tolerable, and this was kind of 2023 was a year of nostalgia, and that's what we saw really bringing in the numbers. If you look at it, like we said, Barbie, Super Mario Brothers, two nostalgia pieces that topped the box office for the year, and the only thing that kind of it didn't even really put Flash over as far as gross wise, but to me, whenever I went and watched it, seeing Michael Keaton was the only real good part. So I bundle all those together. I never saw Shazam this year. I never saw Blue Beetle, and it was kind of just because
they're on the same realm.
Yeah, it's more of a disappointment. So I had no interest in seeing those. And I mean, I guess you could even, it's not really a superhero movie by any means, but you could tie John Wick 4 into that, where it's an action film where it's just bunch of stupid shit going on. The same thing that's happened in the three other films. He's going to kill 1 million different people in most ridiculous ways. So
I feel the same way kind of with the Equalizer 3, but I don't know. Like, to me, those are more interesting because there's more of a message there. He's just helping people in need, but it still just reminded me of the other two films.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just wanted to bundle all of those together. That was my kind of number two per se. Is just all the superhero / action films that just kind of let me down this year. So.
Well, all the DC films, like Warner Brothers, just shot themselves in the foot again because of the change in leadership that they went public with. They said like a year ago, they still had like the Flash, Aquaman 2, Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah,
they were basically like, don't bother with these movies, don't go see them because nothing you see is going to go anywhere because we're going in a different direction after this.
Yeah,
and
so
that's what happens. Nobody
haven't seen Aquaman 2 yet. Haven't heard good things. Another one that he was just mentioning, the Marvels, that was probably the worst of the bunch from what I had heard. I never saw that one either, but out of the ones we saw, I think Quantumania was the worst.
Yeah,
I've never seen Napoleon
2 or 1. Evil Dead Rise I wasn't mad at, but it could have been better.
On the fence with that one too.
I feel like that's on Chuck's list.
Well, first, going back to the nostalgia thing. So the one movie that let me down a lot was going into a movie thinking it couldn't be equally as bad or worse than the fourth film is fucking Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Talk about shitty CG, shitty aging, having someone look like he's 20 with a 90-year-old voice. Like, that whole fucking movie just was out the door for me. Like, some of the scenes they were trying too hard to give you that nostalgia, old school indie feel, and they just fucking overdid it.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was, I don't know, like, I've never came out of a theater so disappointed in a long time.
That was my number one. So let's just.
That was my number one.
Over with, and I will.
Like I said, I have not really any order, but that I had to get that shit out because
that's what I was like. I just want to go over this one more time and then put this fucking movie to bed.
That was my top one too, because you know, like you said, Chad, I don't really have a order per se, but as far as being let down, you know, being such a big fan of the Indiana Jones series, you know, I had, you know, I had hopes. I wouldn't say high hopes based on Crystal Skull, but I was like, oh, maybe they can
flying human monkeys in that one. I mean, any people like turning into monkeys and swinging around like a Disney film in this one. That happened? No, okay.
I mean, there's time travel.
Oh,
yeah. So you know, it was just. I feel like that's why I put it at the top of my biggest letdowns of 2023 because I love Indiana Jones so much, and this didn't do him justice in any way whatsoever.
No, because it's this bait and switch that Disney has been doing the last couple of years. We're just putting out these IPs and we're trying to put this other character that we're trying to make over, which was what was her name in that movie? It was something stupid. I can't remember what it was.
Wombat.
That's it.
Wombat.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
I almost said muskrat. Same thing.
It's like the whole movie. She so reminded me of Rey from the Star Wars sequels. Right. It was the exact same character. So if you didn't like those movies, you're not going to like the new Indie. And again, it's another movie nobody asked for. Nobody asked for the fourth one. And George Lucas and Spielberg were involved with the fourth one. This one, they weren't involved.
And it shows. Well, I mean, I guess.
The fourth one wasn't that great either.
And it's another movie that cost a fortune, and it's just.
No, I jumped ahead a bit because this was definitely like the worst movie I've seen.
I'm done with Indiana Jones.
I just had to get off my chest because I've been stewing on it all day.
And you know, I think
ruining my childhood.
The best way to surmise it was what they had reported from Cannes whenever they had the premiere of the film. Nobody really gave an ovation for the film. They ended up giving a standing ovation for Harrison Ford. Yeah, you know, because probably 80 whenever he filmed it. He's 81 now. But at 80 years old, being able to go out and perform and act in that at that level, you know, that's still impressive. And you know,
right?
Because, like I said, they didn't do justice for the character of Indiana Jones. But you know, Harrison Ford is still a beast, and he's the shit. So you know, it sucks that this had to be his send off to that franchise. But
right,
definitely,
that's what it is.
It always sucks when the greats, like when they're. Like, it's kind of the same, kind of different, because, I mean, I don't know if Harrison Ford is doing any other movies or whatever the fuck, but it always sucks that, like, when some of our favorites, when they get up in age, and it's like, this could be their last movie, you know, that kind of thing, and it's like, this is a horrible send-off. It's like Jack Nicholson, one of my favorite actors of all time, and the last movie that he acted in before he retired, because he can't anymore, was this horrible Paul Rudd movie where he plays Paul Rudd's dad. He's in like maybe all of 8 minutes of the movie, maybe. And it's a horrible movie. And it's the last movie that he did. And it's like, man, I hate that. Paul Rudd, yeah, he's used to being in shitty movies. But Nicholson, nah. So like for Harrison Ford, Harrison's kind of the same way. I've always thought he was a badass. He was a great. I always say he's a great actor, and this movie has just been ripped over and over again by so many people, and it's just like I hope he puts out at least one more movie where everybody's like, everything about it was great, good job. But don't feel bad about it now, you know.
I just feel bad for him in general because I mean the last time he played Han Solo, he got fucked, and then now the last time he plays Indy, he gets fucked again.
It was the same thing. It was because they treated Indiana Jones the same way they treated Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy. They didn't know that character at all. Nothing he did in that movie is something Indiana Jones would have done.
No,
right. It belongs in a museum.
This film
trilogy. The other ones belong in the trash.
I don't think we trashed.
They belong in the garbage
How
disposal.
do you fuck that up?
I don't know if we even trashed it this bad whenever we did the review. I think we were
either.
I think we were more sympathetic at the time. I think we were still a little shell shocked, where it was like, we wanted to like it, but
did we just watch that? Was that the same movie we just watched?
Yeah.
And Wombat was just so perfect. She was just so perfect. She never makes mistakes. And this and that. She almost makes fun of Indy. Thor in the movie. And it's just, again, it's the same thing with Rey and Luke in the sequel trilogy, making your hero overpowered like that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
I'm against
But
it.
hey, Mads
You can make your
Mikkelsen-
villain overpowered, but not your hero, because then there's nothing for him to overcome and conquer in the end.
Yeah.
And nobody
Mads Mik-
cares.
Mads Mikkelsen, though. Hey, always a good villain.
Always, yes, I was going to say, always a good villain. Oh, yeah. Where unless a good movie's Mission Impossible? Because I didn't see the Mission
Yeah, I haven't
Impossible.
seen either.
I missed that one too.
Dead
But
Reckoning.
Megan, I didn't finish.
I did see Mission Impossible, and it was it had a couple good scenes, action scenes. You know, obviously Tom
It's the same
Cruise
shit.
does his own stunts and everything, so it's impressive to see those things. But you know, it's recycled. You know, same with John Wick, where it's the same story but just a different scenario. Where okay, this character is getting into some other kind of fucking hijinks, and it just doesn't bring anything new to the table. So I wouldn't say it was a bigger disappointment than any of these films, but it didn't do anything for me.
Well, it's
And
like with
then
Megan. Like
Megan, I liked it, but it was 2022. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Megan, though, I mean, like, it wasn't a bad movie for what it was, but it wouldn't be anywhere on my tops on anything, though. Not by any means. But I'm also a fucking asshole. So,
like I said, I didn't mind Megan. Oddly enough, I thought going in, I was like, this could be fucking stupid shit, but it wasn't that bad.
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, but not good.
Right. Not good.
It's good, but not good.
Right.
Since I stole the thunder of Indy, what
you
else
can
you
have
got?
it.
Yeah, we got Chuck. What are you? You still have your number one, right, Chad? Or is that?
That was pretty much it. I jumped. I couldn't hold it in anymore.
Yeah, Megan came out in January.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I remember, because normally horror movies in particular, don't do well in January, but Megan actually did.
It did come out.
Oh,
Yeah.
just barely.
Never finished it.
I was gonna say
Okay.
I just typed it in the Google machine and it said
Google
Megan
people.
2022, but
Okay.
I guess the premiere was on January 6th, so just barely.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, but it still is one of those like, yeah, it wasn't horrible. It's a fun movie for what it is. It's just something special that I would make it on any list. And for me, it's not one that I don't see me ever watching again unless I'm at somebody's house or something. But again, I'm an asshole, so
So
that's all popped in my head too.
Well, I've got a couple of movies left. Have you all already talked to your alls?
I just have some dishonorable mentions.
Well, I've got my 2 and 1.
go ahead, fire away.
Okay. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines.
Forgot about that one.
Let's talk about a movie that really just like I tried to be excited about it. I was like, all right. But the thing that worried me was, well, you didn't take the time to come up with a good title. Bloodlines. How many movies?
That's right. Because as soon as I saw the subtitle, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm done." No.
Yeah,
that's right.
like Bloodlines. How many movies? Hellraiser. There's that shitty Dawn of the Dead. I think it was it Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead movie, whatever it's called, Bloodlines. Just come on, man. So you already know that when we're going into this movie, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's not going to be anything special. And this movie was supposed to go back from when Judd was a kid, and the shit that went on with, I guess, from the original movie, when they were talking about when the kid, came back from war and whatever, and then the dad brought him back to life or some shit, and he wasn't the same. Like that whole thing from the original movie. David Duchovny, I mean, like he did a good job in it. I'm a Duchovny fan.
Oh, me too, brother. Me too.
But I wanted to like it. I wanted it to surprise me that maybe it'd be a fun.
Bless you, child.
Oh, okay. I was like, smelling a dog. What was that? Did DMX just come in into the chat? What was that? Yeah, a little bit. We were talking about dead dogs, and he got offended. But yeah, no. This movie just fell flat. They could have done so much with it because I don't know why they even started the idea of putting these movies back out. I mean, because the remake Although it had some interesting ideas and some cool scenes, and Lithgow as Judd was interesting. But it's still like the movie it fell flat. And this one, it was one that pissed me off because Pet Sematary is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite Stephen King books. And I don't know why they even bothered with this. So that really pissed me off. So there's that. Did you all watch that one?
I did.
No.
It sucked.
I just realized
Yeah.
something though. 2023 produced a year of a Russell Crowe movie I didn't like and a David Duchovny movie I didn't like. That's crazy.
The end is near.
Merry Christmas, shitters.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll just go ahead and shoot off my number one that really pissed me off. And this one you're not going to be shocked about. This one gets a lot of back and forth from people as well because it's one of the greatest franchises of horror, gore, splatter punk movies, if you will.
Barbie.
It's Barb. No, actually, I heard Barbie was
no?
actually really good. No, actually, our friend in the chat there, Evil Dead Rise. That movie, which we talked about it before, also. I was hoping because I love the reboot that came out a while back. It's one of my favorite remakes, whatever the fuck you would call it, reboots or whatever. I love it. I thought it was great. So I was like, man, it has to say, the trailer looked pretty cool. It had a very similar feel, it seemed. And the opening's cool. I love that opening shot, with the coming, all that shit. And like, all right, it's pretty brutal from the beginning. And then the whole opening shot where, the woman.
It's the drone. It's the drone that you think is the.
Yeah. And, so from starting to watch, I was like, okay. But as the movie went on, I was like, why? Huh? Why are you doing that? Why is that there? Why is that even there? Why are we finding the book in a vault underneath the fucking why?
The bank.
The bank.
A bank vault put there by who knows, priests or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then also you have a random wood chipper in a fucking garage. Cool place for one. Awesome. I already know what's getting ready to happen, and I'm excited about it. But unfortunately, it doesn't make sense.
You mean to tell me you've never seen a wood chipper in a parking garage in the middle of a city before?
No.
Okay, me.
Okay, thank you. That's new to me. I didn't really the acting, the mom in it that where all the shit happens to, I thought she did a good job in it. The sister, the aunt that comes in or whatever, I think she did a good job too. All those kids I wanted to kick in the head. They're just stupid. The brother, what were they going for with him? I don't know. The brother,
the DJ, man. He's the next Paulie D.
Yeah, and he's also kind of the Judd of the movie. Since I'm talking about Judds,
he did fuck it up.
He's the one that's like, oh, here's this old school record. I'm gonna play that. Shut the fuck up. That's how you're gonna do this. You're gonna make him a fucking aspiring DJ to find this and put it on. And, oh, look what happened now. No,
it's like note to self: whenever you find a book in a vault in the bottom of your apartment building, that's really a bank, and it has teeth locking the book shut. Leave it alone.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed everybody knew that already.
I mean, if it looks anything, well, you can't.
Didn't think we need to put a fucking sign here.
Yeah, like
nice arms.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to show my books right here, but it's my but it's like I didn't understand, really what they were like. It's like they were trying too hard. That was a big issue I had. It seemed like they were trying too hard to go back to Evil Dead 2 and all that shit, but also still try to keep it relevant, like with the reboot. And it just didn't. I don't know. I didn't because it lost its feel. It didn't have the feel like the other one did. Because the other one was fairly serious. The kills were completely painful to watch. I mean, the guy gets a needle stuck in his eye.
The needle in the eye always kills me. That and the chick licking the razor blade.
Yeah.
To this day, every time I watch that movie, I'm like, ah.
That movie was a really serious movie with a really serious plot.
Yeah,
then this one comes out and it's like, let's be slapstick all of a sudden again.
Yeah.
Ooh, no. I kind of like this whole idea. Let's go. You started off good. You gave me something brutal. let's keep that. And then it's just like this poor mom just getting fucking tortured over and over again. And now she's goofy and she's gonna kill you, and she's gonna run back and forth when you're looking through her at a fucking peephole because she's in this comedic scene where she's chasing the guy in the fucking hallway or whatever, and like the kids are watching her, through the peephole, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. This isn't like, oh, I get it. Now you're going to do Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Ooh, shut the fuck up. Like, no, this movie pissed me off because I love those fucking movies to death. Like, I really do. I tried watching it again a few months ago. I went to a friend's house and I wasn't able to drive myself home, so I stayed the night. And upon that, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling all right. I'm going to give this movie another watch. And it was over. And I was like, nope, I think I hate it even more. I'm even more pissed now. And where's the bottle?
That's how it was with Scream 6. Like, the more I watched it, the more I thought about it. I was just like, oh fuck!
Same fucking feeling. It's like you're looking forward to it. You're like, all right, I can dig it the ones before it, and then you are fucked without a kiss afterwards. And it's just like, man, this is what I want. And the people that are like, oh man, Evil Dead Rise, again, everybody's allowed to have their opinion, and that's okay. But the people that really understand my frustration on this are the ones that are the fans that don't get why they're even bothering with that, because I don't know. Evil Dead Rise fell flat. Could have been a lot better. Do better next time. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on the franchise yet because it wasn't horrible. It just didn't make a lot of goddamn sense.
It had its moments.
It did.
There are very few, but it had a few decent moments. But overall, like you said, it just doesn't make sense. And whenever you're just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on here? It just kills it.
Yeah,
it does.
Especially when it's a franchise that you're so enamored with.
Yeah, whenever we did the episode, I tried to defend it, but then I had went back and watched it too. And
yeah, I did the same.
It's tough. Like I can go back and watch the other one, like the 2013 one. But this one, I don't know.
Wasn't this the one?
Huh?
I was gonna say, wasn't this so bad that Dave had to go to the hospital in it? Was this the one?
Yeah, but that wasn't why.
You got to see the cool opening, man. Like you said, like the opening was fucking tits. Like
best intro ever.
Bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's
like,
what
the title shot was fucking amazing.
Like that's why I kept trying to rewatch it. I was like, is it me? Was I just in a mood or something when I saw this? Like, so I think I watched it like maybe 3 times.
Like visually, it looked dope. Characters I didn't care about really.
Yeah.
And then fucking, it just the story. Like there's just so many questions.
And because the 2013 one was so good, it was like yes, because that's what you should. Because you nobody can ever recapture what the originals did. So don't try. Your best bet is to go for brutal and go in a different direction because nobody's going to be able to repeat that shit. Yeah. And we see what happens when they kind of did, when they kind of tiptoed around it.
I mean, the reason it's my number one is because, like with Pet Sematary Bloodlines, I kind of already knew, but I was kind of hoping I was wrong. Evil Dead Rise, I was really, really hoping. Like it was the biggest letdown because how long have we waited for this movie? Was that not
10 years?
I mean, this was a movie that we were like, oh, it's actually happening. All of us were fucking excited.
Yeah, we heard about it for so long. Like we kept seeing these like fan-made posters and all with the high-rise buildings. Like, oh, okay, that's different. All right, I'm on board. But
yeah,
we also waited so long because it was going to go straight to HBO.
Oh, that's right.
Decided to put it in theaters
because they said it was so good. We got to put this in theaters because it's so good. Oh man, that's all. Because I don't think any other movie during that time did that.
No.
There were movies that were supposed to get theatrical releases that would go to streaming. But no movie was ever going to streaming, and then they said, "Oh fuck, release that in theaters because we'll make bank with this." And that was more the reason to get hyped for it, and it made my heart stop. Literally,
it's funny because I remember when this came out and they had the premiere at South by Southwest, and that guy was talking shit at the premiere, and Bruce Campbell called him out and was yelling at him. It's like, well, nope, that guy was right. This does kind of suck.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the book being in it, all the aspects were just gone.
Yeah. No, I saw that clip too. That kid, he's like, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hey, fuck you, kid.
Yeah, you waited till now.
Yeah, you wait till the credits.
But I mean, it's that same thing. Like we said, Indiana Jones, Evil Dead, 2 franchises we really love. And it's like when we're expecting something or we're hoping for something so good to come out, these are just the biggest letdowns. It doesn't matter, what other films came out and just kind of sucked.
Right. Yeah.
These are the biggest letdowns, the ones that you love the most.
Like, I mean, I love the whole franchise, but that one's just hard to defend.
It really is. It's like, what were you thinking? Like, I did like the fact. I did like the fact that it was Bruce Campbell's voice on the record. I
forgot about that.
I thought that was kind of cool because, like,
Easter eggs.
Yeah,
Not
like,
real
as soon as I
Easter
heard his voice. Yeah, as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Movie still sucks so far, but that's, yeah, no. That movie just, it's like you wanted and you thought that you were going to get something that, I don't know, was as good as the fucking show.
Yeah, Ash versus Evil Dead. I fucking love that
Great.
shit.
Oh,
It's a
great
good show.
show.
Over
Great
the top,
fucking show.
everything. Like,
It was very true to the whole fucking thing. And this one just
So sad.
yeah.
I feel better. Like, I feel like I got a lot off my chest tonight.
Right?
I feel like we buried these films. I think we were nicer about both Indiana Jones and Evil Dead Rise whenever we talked about them before. But
I do
now
too.
we're just throwing the dirt on them, buried them.
Wasn't the apartment scene a prequel to the beginning of the movie?
yes,
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
the opening title was the very end of the movie.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I actually got to say though.
Spoiler.
I didn't have a problem with it being out of the.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah? You don't say. And there's another T-shirt.
Screenshot. Beautiful.
So there we have it.
What else you got?
One second. Yeah, I actually forgot. I guess I gave this movie a couple chances and then I just kind of since forgot about it, which is weird. But some of my honorable mentions were Cocaine Bear, The Flash, and The Iron Claw. My dishonorable mentions: Expendables 4, Children of the Corn.
I was ready to say Children.
Yeah, I had that in the chamber too.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting to spat out.
And the rest were like Aquaman 2, The Marvels, and Shazam 2.
Fucking goddamn
All the
Children of
super.
Corn.
I just should have bundled them together like you, Mike. And just
Another franchise that fell apart.
put them all
after this
together.
whole fucking reimagining nonsense with the Transformer corn guy.
As far as anything else, I don't. We touched on it, but Super Mario movie was a fun little piece of nostalgia.
Yeah.
The
Turtle movie was okay.
I didn't see that one.
All right.
I'm trying to think what else. I saw that Air movie, the one about Nike and the Michael Jordan. That wasn't all right. That, I like that more than I don't like it. One I just watched the other day, Strays. I told Chad about this. It was.
I'll watch that today.
I
want to go back and watch it because I really couldn't pay attention to it, and I was like, I need to go back and watch this because it's fucking goofy.
It's a very silly film. I was whenever I saw the trailer for it, I was like, this is ridiculous. And when you watch it, it's just so over the top and cheesy and silly. But it's worth a watch. And I think I pretty much covered all the dishonorable ones. I never saw Barbie. I feel like I would probably bury that one as well. And two other ones I would like to see that I didn't get to see this year was Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon.
That's what I said too. I wish I would have seen Oppenheimer.
Yeah, just
Never
two
saw
films.
Saw X.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot about Saw.
I haven't saw X either. But yeah, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, two films that are long, and I just haven't had the time to sit and watch them. I'm sure.
Was The Irishman this year?
No, that was
That was last year.
I think it might have been a couple years ago.
The Scorsese joint.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, everything's a big blur.
it was 2019.
Oh, I went back in time.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, I heard good things about Saw X. I think Chuck said he saw it and he liked it. If I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, he was putting Saw X over.
And Chuck's internet just went out for some reason.
That's because he opened the book.
I guess so.
He's talking shit about the book.
Maybe I did jinx it in the end after all. So
Oh,
But yeah, there's a couple others I'd still like to see, but for the most part, like I said, I watched a lot more films this year than I have in previous years. So,
Me too.
2023, for the most part, didn't deliver, in my opinion. I'm hoping 2024 is going to be a lot better. You know, we got Ghostbusters, we got
Beetlejuice 2.
Beetlejuice.
I got a list here.
We got some stuff in
Nosferatu.
this.
Wait, that's not it. Night Swim, of course, that comes out the 5th. Yeah, Ghostbusters 2, I'm probably looking forward to the most out of any of them.
New Joker film.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is coming out.
There's a Sesame Street movie coming out too.
The new Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
So there's some ones on the horizon that are.
We got some decent series shows coming out too, because I think Derry's supposed to come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
What else? The Camp Crystal Lake series. And then you got the new Ted series coming out January 11th on Peacock.
No.
Yeah, we were talking about old Mickey a little bit earlier. There's so far already, since they lost the domain, there's a horror video game and 2 movies coming out already. So
should be interesting. Another dishonorable shit would be Pooh, Blood, and Honey.
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking that shit was hard to watch.
Also in 2024, an Omen prequel. I don't know why they're doing that, but it's happening. The new Godzilla and Kong, a new Wolfman movie.
Well, the new Godzilla and Kong, I'm not even looking forward to now, because I know it's not made by the company that just did this Godzilla.
Yeah, they showed them the fuck up. Oh, Venom 3
and Wonka. We haven't got a chance to see that yet.
Right.
I'm hearing mixed things. It's more of a musical than previous installments, but I'm curious to see it.
Yeah, another Quiet Place movie.
I think Melissa said it wasn't great.
What, Wonka?
Yeah.
There's a couple.
She said it was better than Johnny Depp though.
Asteroid City with Tom Hanks and a couple.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet either.
I've heard good things about it. I haven't got to see it.
I actually watched 10 minutes of Barbie and I turned it off.
I don't think that movie's just for me. That's all.
No.
Five Nights at Freddy's,
Oh yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. I didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Could have been better. And then right before I was trying to get this in before the show was the Fincher film, The Killer, on Netflix. I haven't got around. I got probably 30 minutes into it, and then I had some other stuff come up.
One with oh gosh, what's his name? He was
Fassbender.
Magneto. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. He's good. I like him too. He hasn't been in as much lately, but yeah, he's a good actor. I like him.
So yeah, I'm only part way through that, so we'll see how that turns out. But yeah.
Some other movies in 2024: Saw 11, Smile 2, the new Wolfman movie I mentioned. There was something else coming around Halloween. What was that?
The new Terrifier.
Oh, that's it. Duh. Yeah. Duh. I'm just trying to. Yeah, Chuck messaged me. He said he's trying to hurry up and come on before it's over, so I'm stalling a little bit.
There's actually a new movie being released on Christmas this year too.
Oh, Nosferatu, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Sonic 3, the new Karate Kid movie, etc. So we'll see.
I think is there a new Mad Max movie coming out too?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What was that called? I forget what that's called. But
yeah, Talk to Me too.
Yeah, they were supposed to put the 2 in the middle, so it'd be like "Talk to Me,"
like Coming to America.
Yeah, it's like don't do.
I hope it doesn't suck as bad as that movie.
Oh gosh,
that's probably the worst movie I've seen in a long time. I mean, aside from like Indian shit.
Oh yeah, when's Beverly Hills Cop 4 come out?
No, it's in the summer.
Sorry, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Axel F coming out in July, I believe.
Faxel.
Okay. So got a little while. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
I think I'm looking forward to mostly Ghostbusters. 40-year anniversary, the first one coming out like a week beforehand.
Crazy. fucking old, man. Goddamn.
All right. Well,
Crazy shit.
I don't know.
Well, we'll move on to our clip of the week real fast because Chuckles is struggling. So we'll fire up the generator here and see what brings us.
Here we go.
Our first clip of 2024.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hit the switch.
Shit, here they come.
There's your good CG, Mike.
That's better than some shit I've seen.
Right? There's a movie out too called Bad CGI Gator. That's literally the fucking name of the movie.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Now I'm a bottom. What's going on here?
Power bottom?
Okay, guys, what did I just come in on?
Whoa!
That creates the friction.
Ooh,
He's not coming in on any bottoms.
I missed the video, didn't I?
You didn't miss it.
We should play it again. Can you play it again? So I
Oh
can see
no!
Shit, here they come.
Oh, the movies you can make on a phone.
That was bad.
I think we did better than that with the Mothman thing.
100%.
You all, dude, you all do great. I mean, I want to see a full. I can't wait for the whole movie to come out. No, that was horrible. Thanks for showing me again.
Did you see the clip of Not
Oh,
Shark
yeah.
News? Sorry. Yeah. I
forgot-
didn't want to bring that up, but yeah.
I was going to say you didn't put that in the news. Ian Ziering getting attacked by a biker gang. It wasn't really a biker gang. It was a bunch of jagoffs and these little
And
crotch
I saw,
rockets.
We drive scooters because we watch Sons of Anarchy.
I saw footage of Michael B. Jordan crashing his car too. Did you see that?
Oh.
Yeah, he crashed a sports car into some parked car in L.A. He's okay though, but
I never did mention what Creed 3, I guess, came out this year too.
oh yeah,
I don't know how it was because I didn't think I've even seen the second one.
yeah, I didn't see the second one either. We've never talked about any of the Scream 7 drama, and I really don't want to be honest. They just need to sell the rights off. Let somebody else do it.
That's
All
just
right,
a we'll see. We'll see.
All right, before we get out of here, shut down the store for the night. Our 2024 is looking really good. We've come a long way since we started. But first of all, next week we're going to come out swinging. What are we doing next week?
Well, this is where I'm in a pickle because technically I can't talk about it.
We can't
That's
talk
the first
about it.
rule. What's the second rule?
Can't talk about it.
Fight Club.
Kind of hoping we just would leave it at that.
You
Maybe.
broke the rules, Dave.
One of my favorite movies.
I think everybody would know. You didn't have to reveal.
Well, I was just making sure. I'm trying to.
That's like explaining the joke afterwards, Dave.
Oh, did I ruin the joke? And I feel really bad about the news earlier.
Because it's his dog.
Get
it?
I didn't mean disrespect. My brain really did shut off there for a second. I don't know what happened, so I'm gonna apologize again for that.
Get to the point, fat man.
And I also again apologize to those audience members that were with us when we went to go see Thanksgiving. We're normal
Dave.
people, just like you.
Dave, his name is Tom Wilkinson. His name
is Robert Paulson.
Is Tom Wilkinson. All I want to know is Chad going to have bitch tits next week?
Well,
tune in and find out.
Find out, yeah. I'm not the one dressed
also around
up.
the corner.
These guys
will
are.
be our special episode 100, and we have something very special planned indeed. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe so you can keep up with all the latest from your local humble video store clerks.
Yeah, and thanks for sticking with us tonight. I know we ran a little long, but there's a lot to cover. 2023 has been quite a year, and 2024 is here, and
Thank God.
looking up.
Hopefully we have better options this year.
And once again, thank you so much for joining us. And I just want to say one more time, fuck you, 2023. I'm still here, bitch. What?
That's what's up.
Good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.